Good afternoon, everyone, and happy Thanksgiving. Woohoo! I think Chef Ruben and Chef Steven have outdone themselves this year, so put on your feed bag, be ready to eat, because we're ready to feed you. On behalf of Command Sergeant Major Hurd, myself, we just want to wish you and your families a very happy Thanksgiving, and thank you for your service to the border, to the state, and to the country. I do have the great honor this afternoon, honor and a privilege, to introduce the leader of the Lone Star State, your Commander-in-Chief. Let's give it up for Governor Greg Abbott.
Well, thank you all very much, and most importantly, thank you for your service, and a very big happy Thanksgiving to you. We cannot thank you enough for what you do, and I want to say a tiny bit more about that, knowing full well the only thing you are kind of really interested in right now, and that is getting your lunch. We will get you there as quickly as possible. First, let me recognize some people who will be saying just a few words after I talk, and that is, we have with us today the United States Border Czar, Tom Homan. Give it up for Tom Homan. As you all know, we work very collaboratively with the Border Patrol. We have the President of the United States Border Patrol Council, Paul Perez, with us. And our National Guard works hand in hand with the Texas Department of Public Safety, and we have the Director of the Texas Department of Public Safety, Freeman Martin. As you know, we've had soldiers and law enforcement officers from more than 20 states around the country. Governors from 4 of those states are with us here today. We have Governor Keogh from Missouri, Governor Pillen from Nebraska, Governor Lee from Tennessee, and Governor Youngkin from Virginia, each of whom will have a chance to visit with you here in just a second. Let me just take one moment to once again thank our members of our National Guard and members of the Texas Department of Public Safety. Truly, you saved the United States of America. At a time when we were being overrun by literally millions of people coming across the border illegally, people who have been proven to be very dangerous criminals who have been wrecking mayhem across our country. You were the forefront, you were in the vanguard of making sure that in Texas we put up a fight to defend our country, to defend our state. We could not have been what we have been. We could not have done what we did, which was to decrease illegal border crossings by 85% into the state of Texas. Thank you, each and every one of you, for everything you've done. Now you know that we're on, in a way, a new mission because we're working in collaboration. Many of you have been cross-designated to work with Border Patrol. Some are actually working even with ICE. All of you are working for one unified purpose, and that's to ensure that the laws of the United States of America are going to be upheld and enforced, and the safety of our fellow Texans, the safety of our fellow Americans is going to be the primary cause that we're working for every single day. Our Americans know that would not be happening without the men and women I'm looking at right now. And I want you to know the gratitude that every Texan has for your service to our state, our country. God bless you all for what you're doing for our entire country. Last thing I'll say to you, which may be getting ahead of General Seltzer a tiny bit, but just, you know, we live in a world that constantly changes. And if you spent much time over the past week keeping up with world events, you know that there is extraordinary turmoil in Mexico. There's a rising up of the populace against the leadership in Mexico. And part of it involves the cartels. And here's what we don't know right now, and that is the extent to which that may cause an escalation of events and activities along the border region. All it really means is this. There's another reason to be ever ready for the challenges that we face. but I know that there is nobody in the entire country that is better prepared, better trained, and better capable of dealing whatever challenge may come than the men and women of the Texas National Guard and the Texas Department of Public Safety. Thank you all. God bless you all, and happy Thanksgiving. Now I want to introduce a good friend of mine, a great friend for the great state of Texas, and that is the United States Border Czar, Tom Homan.
Okay, about a year ago I was here. Promises made, promises kept. It was right after the election. What did I tell you? President Trump is going to keep his promise to the American people. Number one, he will secure the border. Number two, he will run the biggest deportation operation this country's ever seen. And three, we will find those 300,000 missing children that were smuggled in the country under Joe Biden, and they weren't even looking for it. They lost track of them. So where are we at? Because of President Trump, the greatest president of my lifetime, you have the most secure border in the history of the nation today. And you got a lot to do with that. Number two, we're into the year 650,000 deportations by the men and women of Border Patrol and ICE. That's a record. We beat the last record by a couple 100,000, and we're just getting started. We're bringing 10,000 more agents on. If you think the numbers look good this year, wait till next year, because you ain't seen shit yet. Next year is going to be amazing. And we look at the children. 300,000 children were missing. Now, a lot of them aged out. We're going to still look for them. But as far as the children, Trump administration, President Trump, has already found over 24,000 of these young kids. Many of them were in sex trafficking. Many were in forced labor. These are children that last administration wasn't even looking for. So God bless President Trump, the men and women of ICE and HHS for helping us find these kids. We will not give up until we find every one of them. At least run every lead down we have. And when we're done, we're going to go back and do it again. We know that at least 14 of these children have died. We know that some of these children we may not ever find. By giving this promise, we will not stop trying. Every day we'll be out there looking for them. Let me add this. The Texas governor has been a strong partner of mine from the beginning. During the Biden administration, we had the most unsecure border in the history of this nation. 10.5 million illegal aliens came to the border. Historic illegal immigration. The governor, I was talking to him earlier, he was a game changer because what he did for the state of Texas during those 4 years, doing what he could to secure the Texas border. People need to understand, it wasn't just for Texas. 90% of these people don't stay in Texas. They go all across the country. So you were helping to save America and keeping criminals from getting across America. And one of the most genius things he's ever done, and the media hates it, and I'll say it, because he's proud of it. When you send in illegal aliens to sanctuary cities, that put this story on the front page of every newspaper and every one of those media outlets were covering it. The American people actually knew what was happening down here, and that's when they took action. And that's why they put President Trump back in the White House, because they had enough of that stuff. They wanted a secure border. Secure border saves lives, and you had a lot to do with it. Even after all the work this governor has done, the men and women of DPS and National Guard, I called the governor up 3 weeks ago. I said, I need more National Guard in this area. How fast you need them, where you want them. He's still partnering with us every day. Texas DPS, they're doing 287G trooper-wide in the state of Texas. Texas is not stopping, showing they're going to lead the fight of the governors across this country. I got governors behind me that sent troops here in their time of need. So hats off to them. Hats off to you. I love every one of you. God bless you for the sacrifices you make. The families you're away from right now, God bless them. Thank you. America loves you, and we're not going to stop doing this job until we finish the job. We're close. We're going to keep going. So God bless you, and thank you.
Now the President of the Border Patrol Council, Paul Perez.
Thank you, Governor. It is my honor to be here as a proud veteran and the father of an active duty soldier. It is my honor to be here and serve with you guys. I was here last year as well with Tom and the Governor. I can tell you, as a 28-year veteran of the Border Patrol, this is the most secure border that we've ever seen in our entire history. What Governor Abbott did when President Biden failed to allow us to do our job, he did save this country. He helped save this country. And the governors that sent their best out here, they did the same. So we owe them a ton of gratitude because they helped save America when President Biden raised the white flag and allowed everybody to come into this country unvetted to the tune of millions, that now Tom has to go out and oversee the largest deportation effort in the history of this country because of what President Biden did during those 4 years. So everything that President Trump has done with the support of the governor here and these governors here is to save America, bring our country back. And you guys are at the forefront of that. And so I thank you for everything that you've done. I thank you for being here away from your families. And again, it's our honor to serve you. Thank you.
Good job, man. And now the Director of the Texas Department of Public Safety, Freeman Martin.
Governor, thank you. So I'll start off with saying this. Thank you for your sacrifice. Thank you for your service. Operation Lone Star has saved lives. And the governor has led from day one, March of 2021 when we started this operation. This Operation Lone Star has been nothing but a success. But last year, at this same location right here, Tom Homan was talking about the shift of illegal immigration in Texas. How we used to have 80% and now we have 20%. And that's a credit to all the National Guard soldiers in here today that did all the blocking, denying, and deterring and shifted that west to Arizona and California. At the same time, the DPS troopers, the numbers are through the roof. So if anybody wants to argue that Operation Lone Star was not a success, they're uneducated. So 811 million lethal doses of fentanyl, 59,000 criminal arrests, 48,000 felony arrests. The numbers are just through the roof. 80 tons of methamphetamine. And that is stuff that was apprehended at the border that didn't make it to our community. So just think, 811 million lethal doses of fentanyl, how many lives were saved because of that? And it continues today. The sacrifice, I know you're away from your families. It is a sacrifice, but you're making a difference. You're addressing the biggest public safety threat to the nation that I believe. And just this year alone, Texas DPS, this is not counting the federal government, Texas DPS has seized over 26,000 pounds of methamphetamine. So smugglers are going to smuggle. But this is the most secure border. Border Patrol is out patrolling. They're not processing. DPS continues to arrest, and TMD continues to block, deny, and deter, and observe, and identify. So thank you for what you do. We got to do a better job of educating the public nationwide of the successes of this operation, but it's a credit to everybody in here. You're the one that did the work, and thank you for doing it.
One quick note on what the director was talking about, and that is what you all have done working with DPS to address the fentanyl crisis. As you probably know, fentanyl is the number one cause of death for people between 18 and 45. But here's what you may not know, and that's because of what you have done over the last year, from last June to this June. Fentanyl deaths in Texas have declined more than 40%. There are people alive today because of what you did yesterday, and that's something each of you should be taking credit for in your own minds and your own hearts. Now I'm going to call up the governor of the great state of Missouri, Governor Keogh.
Thank you, Governor Abbott. Thank you, Tom Homan, for what you guys are doing. But most of all, thank you to the men and ladies of the National Guard and Texas DPS. Missouri has had 2 different National Guard units down here in the last couple of years and multiple deployments from our Highway Patrol in McAllen, Texas. And I can tell you, every one of our Missourians that came down here to serve had nothing but great things to say about the men and ladies and the professionalism they have here in Texas. And you might wonder, why is Missouri here? I can tell you, just as the other governors will tell you, every state is a border state. We've had multiple fatalities in Missouri caused by illegal aliens, undocumented folks, including a really good friend of mine who was a St. Louis City policeman just not too long ago. What you're doing here makes a difference. You're saving lives in states like Missouri. Fentanyl is the #1 killer of people in our state as well between 18 and 44, and our fentanyl deaths, governors, have gone down significantly in the last year because of what the men and ladies are doing here to protect the rest of the United States. So I'm here to say thank you on behalf of 6 million Missourians. I'm here to say have a happy Thanksgiving, and God bless each and every one of you.
Now, Governor Pillen from the great state of Nebraska.
Thank you, Governor Abbott. Let me keep it brief and really simple. On behalf of all Nebraskans, we are extraordinarily grateful. Not only your time away, you risk your personal safety and health for all of Nebraskans' well-being and everybody in the United States of America. We're absolutely incredibly grateful. This is my 4th time here in 3 years of being the governor of Nebraska. Why? Because it's incredibly important to do our share. We have had way too much criminal activity with sex trafficking and drug trafficking, make it all the way across this great, extraordinary country, the United States. Your work's incredible. We're really proud to have just gotten our ICE detention facility operationalized in the last couple of weeks, invited Czar Homan to come to Nebraska and help us celebrate. We're working hard to do our part, and just please remember that in the middle of the United States, we have as much risk as right here. So on behalf of all Nebraskans, gigantic thank you for your service, for your answering the call. Godspeed. Have a great Thanksgiving meal, and I hope, chefs, there's some good ham in that meal, by golly. Thank you.
Now, Tennessee Governor Bill Lee.
Thank you, Governor. Thank you, Governor, first for inviting us. Tennessee and Texas have quite a rich history of working together for freedom and for public safety. And you should look that up if you're not familiar with the long history that we have, and it continues today. The reason I'm here today is simply to say thank you. It is the Thanksgiving season. Besides all the things that have been said about the importance and what you do for Tennessee and what you do for America, there is a scripture that says, I thank my God in all my remembrance of you. You should know that there are people around this country who pray for your protection and who do thank the Lord, especially in this season of thankfulness. Thank the Lord for men and women like you who have chosen to do what most do not. And there are hundreds of millions of Americans who owe a debt of gratitude to you for what you do. So include me in that. Thank you.
And now Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin.
So good afternoon, everybody. And the sentiment of thank you seems almost insufficient, but you're going to hear it over and over again today because of the work that you all have done, are doing, and will do. Governor Abbott, I want to thank you for your leadership at a time when the nation failed to lead. And Texas stood up, and I was proud that the Virginia National Guard was able to deploy right here at Eagle Pass and help. And I will tell you, they still talk about those moments together of working as a team and all that was able to be accomplished. But I look out and I see each and every one of you here, and I also know behind all of you is a family. And your family right now is absent you. And therefore, I also want to thank them. You know, there's a moment of a question that is asked, whom shall I send? And each and every one of you put your hand up and said, send me. And I want to thank you for answering the call, because the work that is being done today is the most critical work in this whole country, which is to secure our nation. The comments around fentanyl are real. 3 years ago, Virginia was losing 5 people a day to fentanyl. Today, it's 2. It should be 0. That's because of all of you stopping the flow of fentanyl into America. And therefore, at a moment where we are giving thanksgiving, a time when the nation gathers to give thanks, please know that as Governor Lee just said, you have got hundreds of millions of Americans giving thanks for you. Thanks for the work that you're doing here. Thanks for the sacrifice that each and every one of you is making. Thanks for the separation from your families. And yet, we know that the Lord will wrap a hedge of protection around each and every one of you and your families, because the work that you're doing is noble work. And with that, I ask for His blessing on each and every one of you. May He bless you and keep you and shine His face upon you during this season and your families. God bless you, and thank you.
Now the talking is done. It's time for some eating. I'm going to call up General Seltzer to give the instructions about what happens next.
Okay, we've all rehearsed this. We're going to go get in line. You guys are going to go out the back door and come and cycle in. Again, Chef Stephen, Chef Ruben have a great feast ready for you. I also want to recognize our federal partners that are here today. We didn't have that last year, and so like the Border Czar said, this is a partnership. And we're so happy as the National Guard to be able to break bread with you on this Thanksgiving. So let's get after it.